People are strange. Something strange.
Is that strange?
That is strange.
That is strange.
Wow, that is strange. This is strange.
And we're back with another episode of Strange Sauna Flex. There is a lot of crazy stuff happening in the world. There was a man who was set on fire. Another man set on fire. This was during the Ides of March. I don't know if you saw that.
I didn't hear about that one.
Oh, dude. And then you're talking about sonic booms breaking up people in crowds here. What's going on, dude?
Yeah, some direct energy weapon stuff. I don't know, man. I mean, listen, I'm thrilling and chilling this week. We're going to bring a little satire and a lot of truths today. That's it, folks. So we got a lot on the docket.
It's the way it works.
Talking about some AI robots making out with a Kardashian or Kardashian, or whatever the hell their names are, and the new Prime Minister of Canada.
Right. Dude, I just sent you a video right before this started where he's tied to Ghislaine Maxwell.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Right on, man. Well,
Ay is right. Ay.
Ay. Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff to talk about, you guys. If you do like this channel, if you like to support the show, hit the like button. Go leave a 5-star rating on all audio platforms. We're on Spotify, Apple, you name it. Go and leave us a rating, leave us a review. It really helps out the show. And we might give you a shout out here. So, yeah, I read all the comments. I know Flex does too. We're pretty active. So.
I read them all. I give a thumbs up to everybody.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Right on, dude. Well, let's dive into these topics that you brought. With Sonic Boom. What is this all about?
Yeah, let's start with that. Well, there was a protest, and you know what? Sorry, guys. I took a power nap literally 15 minutes before this, so my brain just went dead. I can't remember where it was at. But it was a protest they're saying
Serbia?
Up to 500,000 people. And it was in regards to a building that had collapsed and killed 15 or 14 people. And the government didn't do the permits right. They didn't do an inspection right. So this was a massive protest.
Here, I got the protest just to show people what it looks like.
Yeah.
Here.
It's peaceful protest. And basically they're standing there very quietly. And the reason why it's very quiet is because they're doing a 15 minutes silence.
That is a lot of people.
A lot of people. But all of a sudden, they part like the Red Sea.
Oh, yeah?
And the two videos that I sent you, we'll watch the second one. The first video talks about how the Globe and Mail, which is the newspaper here in Canada, said exactly what the second video. But the second video is better because it actually shows this weapon.
All right, let's check this out, dude.
Same thing they used in the Hulk movie.
What's that?
Same thing they used in the Incredible Hulk movie.
Ooh.
I don't know if you remember the Incredible Hulk with...
I do. The first one with Banna?
No, but not Banna, the other one.
That was so bad, but hey, I liked it.
They're all bad.
Okay, well, hey, let's check this out.
Yeah.
Protest ever staged in Serbia happened yesterday with 325,000 people protesting against Aleksandar Vučić, the president of Serbia. Now, all these protests stem directly from the Novi Sad collapse last November that's kind of pretty much galvanized the anger towards the government because of demonstrators blaming the corruption and corner cutting and the loss of life on the current administration over there. Now, I saw an interesting video of protesters dispersing rapidly yesterday from Belgrade, and I wanted to take a look at this footage and see what it looks like.
Holy moly! That is like Moses, dude. What the hell?
Yeah.
That's extremely fast. So here's what I think caused that crowd to disperse so quickly.
Also known as the active denial system, is an advanced, non-lethal weapon system that projects a long-range, man-sized beam of millimeter waves at a range of up to 1,000 meters.
So this is basically the cutting edge of long-range, non-lethal crowd control. It's a directed energy weapon, and what it provides our warfighters over what's currently available, instead of having to engage the enemy with lethal force, which we know works with rifles, this gives me the ability to engage, say, the indigenous folks or people from a country without having to put them in harm's way. This lets me really discriminate whether they're there just as kind of innocent bystanders or if they really mean to do me harm. And they let me do it at such a far range that I'm not in danger, or my troops aren't in danger when I'm able to employ them.
During the 2 days of the demonstration, Marines acted as if they were protesters at a military installation. When they stepped into boundaries, the operator of the ADS aimed and shot the beam towards the perpetrators.
What is this, a January 6th riot? Look at those hoodlums. I'm just kidding.
The reaction of the Marines once they were engaged shows the impact and effectiveness of the new technology.
It was a heat sensation, and basically what it does is it takes you away from where you're getting shot at. So basically, like if you get is there a mob or a crowd around, if you get shot at, it will disperse the crowd.
The weapon was more than 500 meters away and still had an effective impact on the Marines. Many dignitaries came to Range 4 to learn about the active denial system. Some even volunteered to be engaged by the ADS for a first-hand experience.
Oh, God, his
So that's
butt
what I
cheeks
think
puckered.
it is. I think it's the active denial system, maybe a Serbian version of that. Or maybe they have that equipment that we provided to them. Who knows? So it appears.
Oh, yeah, dude. I mean,
Yeah.
so I did a whole episode on that. I'll link it up here in the right-hand corner right now. But there's so much to the sound weapons, the voice of God. That is the creepiest technology that I've ever heard of. Like that, the fact that somebody can get inside your head and just play music, they can give you subliminal
What?
messages.
I've never heard of that before.
Dude, you should go
The
watch
voice
the
of
episode
God.
I did. It's like, I looked up so much shit on that, and it is very creepy. And the creepiest part is that if you look at the trend of mass shooters, they all hear voices in their head right before they shoot people. And it's telling them to go shoot people. And they're like,
Is
what?
is it connected to MK Ultra?
It could be, or it's just
programmed where it's
maybe
just their head. Like
so that you have targeted individuals. That's what they're called. And these
Right.
people are like picked out somehow that they're the ones that get the voice in the head, and they can't get rid of it, and it just drives them freaking crazy, dude.
It's nuts. And look, we all got enough voices in our head just on other stuff, family and work and whatever. But what's sad about this is it was a peaceful protest,
Yeah.
and they were doing their 15 minutes of silence for I think it was 15 people that died. I think that's what they said had happened. This building had collapsed, and there's a few other videos. If you do see this while you're scrolling through at some point, folks, people have posted videos of the trees moving very quickly just before everyone disperses.
Oh, really?
And it's like a rustling of the wind. Yeah. And
this is just a video of like the overshot of how many people were there. I mean, this is huge. This must have been like after they.
I'm hearing over 500,000 is
after
what
they
I'm
dispersed.
hearing. But just and you know what I love about this is they're protesting the fact that the government cut corners and part of this building fell and killed people. And here we are not protesting about what our government's been doing to us.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Because
right?
here in Canada, they scared everybody. We don't need a weapon like that. We had Trudeau enact the Emergency Act, which basically our Supreme Court said was illegal. Nothing's been said or done about that. So good on these people for doing this.
Right.
This was something that, I think everybody should be thinking twice.
Oh, my God, dude. This is so huge. Look at this. Is like an aerial shot, like way up. But look at this. This is like a star system. It looks like a galaxy.
Yeah.
Here,
I'm
I'll try to
hearing
mute
numbers as high as 800,000, but I keep hearing it was estimated at least half a million people.
Yeah, everybody just listening on audio, there's just so many people out in the streets. And this is like I don't know, 500, maybe 1,000 feet up in the air. And it's looking, and it just looks like a star system because it's at night and everybody's holding a light or a candle or something.
Yeah, it's just lit up.
Holy moly, that's a lot of people. Yeah, I don't know if I see the trees moving.
They're not in those videos because they're from a distance, but I did see some videos yesterday of people on the ground closer.
Okay.
And
yeah, I'll look up
people had
sonic weapon.
Yeah, people had posted about the trees moving very quickly, and it's like this whistling sound, and then they all just disperse. You know, and again, like if the governments have stuff like this, I mean, how do you win at this? You know, you can just shoot. They had that same technique in that Hulk movie we're talking about with Edward Norton, where he's on this field and they're shooting these waves, and the Hulk is holding up a tank
I remember
to block
that.
the waves. It's
Watch this.
I'm assuming it's something like that. Yeah.
They're in the middle of the crowd and just freaking run.
See the trees? Look at the trees.
Holy shit! Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Just
that could have
as
been
it came
people.
by.
That could have been people running into it, though. I mean, because there's a lot of people running towards the direction of the trees. So see, everybody's running off to this, and then they squish over towards the trees. So that could just be like people running into the tree. See,
Could be. I can't tell with the other trees.
so there's that video. There's several videos on this one post. Let me try to get this bigger here.
And the other video I sent you is saying,
Listen to that. Oh my God. It's like a bulls on parade, you know?
yeah.
This is the original video I think that you sent. I just can't believe that. Oh my God, that's so loud. Sorry.
Yeah. It's like this. It's a sonic boom weapon.
Right. It just splits.
It
Part the
splits
seas, everybody. Part the seas. You know,
A couple people kind of just walk like they didn't get affected or something, but I don't know.
But that's what like that the sonic weapon that he was showing, like whatever LRAD or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know how far that's like. What's the swath? Like how far does it spread?
I would say it's a big swath.
Okay.
Just because it's military. They probably can direct it. Like he was saying in that video, they were 500 meters away and it still had quite an impact.
Right.
But I would say big swath. That was my Trump
Big swath, so big, so good. The swath is big and good.
Nope, nobody's had a swath like ours before.
Oh yeah,
Nobody.
dude. All right, well that's interesting. I mean, are you shocked?
No,
Okay. Yeah, there's like
I'm not.
videos of this like long range acoustic device. So there's LRAD.
Like pain without injury. Like how do we know down the road it doesn't cause something like
Exactly.
cancer or something? You know what I mean? Like they thought smoking wouldn't, and then
Mm-hmm.
years later, and all this stuff that we're hearing about now with Make America Healthy Again, like all the seed oils and the additives and everything in food, which they'll come out and say, well, we didn't know it was that bad. So
Well, like right
But-
here, so human pain threshold is 120 decibels. 120 decibels is the equivalent to a jet taking off. And then you have at 50 meters away, it's about 107 decibels, which is like the front row of a rock concert. And about 500 meters away, you're at a dog barking, 88 decibels. So, and then like this guy right here, who's right next to this active denial system where they're
he's got
showing
his
this.
hands out saying, come get me.
Well, look, it says the wave penetrates the skin 1/64th of an inch, causing a feeling similar to being on fire.
Right. That's what that
2-second
guy was
bursts
saying.
can heat the skin to 130 degrees Fahrenheit, dude.
Ooh,
2 seconds. 1, 2. Ow!
got some flaming hose there. Oh,
Yeah. Yikes.
Yankees is right.
Okay. So, I mean, they're probably going to be using that on more crowds then, huh?
Yep.
I would imagine.
Yep. And this was a very peaceful crowd. Everything that I'd researched on it and seen, as you could tell, they were standing quietly, and people didn't understand why because they didn't bother to read into it. But the reason why they were standing still quietly is because they were doing a moment of silence for I believe it was 15 people that got killed. It was like a veranda part, this overhang of a building just dropped on people and killed people.
Okay.
And then we have our government doing, honestly, a lot worse. And nobody's saying anything. Just complaining about, Trump and the tariffs and all this. And I'm like, oh, see past the foolery, folks. See past it. You have to.
Yeah, there's a lot of that happening right now. And then you have, Trump being the anti-war president, but then he bombs Yemen. And he's, the whole thing with Israel. Israel's back bombing Gaza again.
Mm-hmm.
And
that was just yesterday or this morning, right?
Yeah. So it's like, what the hell's going on, everybody? But I think we all know what's going on. I think that, General Wesley Clark revealed the seven countries that we wanted to invade. And you have to look at the influence of Israel and, did they want us to invade those countries? Because they are they have a Muslim threat over in the area for the Israel people. I don't know.
A lot of it has to do with the US dollar. So you had Gaddafi, who was building something over, I believe it was Africa, that he was building something that would have helped with the fresh water and all these
Gaddafi, yeah, was that Libya?
Yep. And he wanted to go to the gold standard. He wanted to come off the US dollar. Same with Saddam, same with anybody that says, hey, we don't want anything to do with the US dollar. That's when the US goes in and performs a coup and takes over. So, because that's how the US has power. Honestly, and I'm not saying this to be a dick, the US only has power because they can use their dollar to bully people. So you have the BRICS nations now saying, nope, we don't want to use this dollar. Trump had said before he got in that he would look into that. And he'd put like tariffs, 100% tariffs on any country that decides to go with the BRIC nations. And it's just like the BRIC nations are doing that because you don't have any account for the money you have or the gold that you have. So the U.S. has no money.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Has no money.
I mean, like it's all just
you're
fake.
borrowing money from private banks that just printed out of nowhere. And then tax dollars are going to pay off the interest on that if that's the case, or being laundered. So address that, Mr. Trump. Mm-hmm. And then you have my backing for at least one show.
Well, and then there was this video of Muammar Gaddafi talking about like the assassination of John F. Kennedy. Mm-hmm. And I remember it was like, he was talking about like the truth about 9/11 on the Larry King show. So he's like, here, hold on a second. Let me just pull this video up and we'll check this out. I haven't really watched this.
How about Al-Qaeda?
He looks like Gene Simmons.
Right.
With a bad face job.
Where is Al-Qaeda? Al-Qaeda in New York. Al-Qaeda is here in New York.
Okay, he says, what is Al-Qaeda? Al-Qaeda is here in New York. He's laughing.
Who
is Bin Laden?
He committed a heinous act.
Yeah, heinous.
Bin Laden made this heinous act.
Bin Laden made this heinous act.
You don't think what Osama bin Laden did was wrong?
Was he on board one of those aircraft
No.
that hit the tower?
But he took credit for sending them.
This is another thing. I don't think that in front of us we have a court sentence vis-a-vis Bin Laden.
Okay, yeah, well, so he's basically saying Bin Laden probably didn't do the whole thing, but Bin Laden was in the country. The whole thing's just weird, dude. I don't know why my camera's all weird. But like Bin Laden was in the country.
You went red. You're definitely in the sauna now.
Whoa! Yeah, there we go.
There you go.
He was like friends with the Bushes. He was there having dinner at the White House or something like that week of the 9/11. And that just like
I remember the day that it happened. They had CNN or I think it was CNN had come out and said that Bin Laden said he wasn't behind it, but he praises the people that did it. And then I never heard that story again. I never heard it again. After that, it was just he did it. And it's just like, pull your head out of your asses. The U.S. government did it in connections with Israel and, maybe other factions. But no, sorry, guys.
Right. So here we go, dude. This is so JFK files are being released today, right? Yeah. Trump just released all 80,000 pages. So everybody's kind of piecing through those. But this was the claim that Gaddafi made. Gaddafi points finger at Israel over JFK assassination. And he was taken out. So let me just scroll this a little bit bigger here. I don't know what the hell this bunny is, but follow the white rabbit, everybody, I guess. Libyan leader Muammar Gaddafi insinuated that Israel was behind the assassination of John F. Kennedy. And this was in 2009. And speaking Wednesday at the United Nations General Assembly, Gaddafi implied that Israel may have plotted to kill Kennedy in 1963 because he allegedly wanted to launch a probe into its clandestine nuclear program. And this was a quote from Gaddafi. Jack Ruby and Israeli. No, I'll stop there. Jack Ruby and Israeli killed Lee Harvey Oswald. The Libyan leader was quoted by the translator as saying, "Why did this Israeli kill Harvey? Ruby later died mysteriously." And the way that Ruby died was fucking weird. The whole world should know that Kennedy wanted to investigate the actions of the Israeli nuclear reactor in Dimona. And Ruby, a local nightclub owner who was also Jewish, shot Oswald, the only official suspect in the Kennedy slaying, just days after Oswald's arrest. And despite persistent conspiracy theories, numerous investigative committees have pointed at Oswald as plotting and carrying out the murder by himself. But he also blamed, so this is during the same speech, Gaddafi also blamed Israel for the 1982 Sabra and Shatila massacre, in which Lebanese militants murdered hundreds of Palestinians in a refugee camp in an area under Israeli control, as well as the 2008 conflict in Gaza. So, yeah. And so you were the one that blah, 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 blah. Talks about a bunch of different stuff here. So it's very interesting that's, you know,
I saw somewhere, and I wish I had saved it. And if I can find it, I'll send it to you, Greg. But it was a post that someone put, and it said CIA was founded. It was in the 60s. CIA was founded in this date. The following year, the Mossad was the next year. The year after that, it was JFK's assassination. So right. I've been always sort of on here saying I feel the Mossad is what runs everything. You know, I think the Mossad actually runs the CIA here, or the CIA runs the Mossad. But Israel is just very, very Mossad is very, very powerful. I think they're more powerful than the CIA. I think they give the marching orders to everybody.
You think they control?
I think they control everything.
So here's something.
That's why none of this will be exposed, because of the fact that the Mossad can expose everything.
Save Israel for last.
Three-letter agencies.
I know.
Everything.
I know. And like the whole like save Israel for last thing, that's like, that's really, you know, that's really pushing it. You really got to like go out on a ledge and put full faith in that.
I will get a shirt that says I was wrong, and I will wear it for an entire year on this show. If it turns out that Israel was saved for last, and the Q movement and the plan was, hey, we're exposing Israel. I can't see that happening, because to expose Israel, you're exposing everything.
Right.
Everything.
I mean, maybe not everything. I'll take it back a little bit.
No,
maybe
Greg,
not everything.
But
there is a lot. Like the big events in this world, at least in the United States, in the last 50, 60 years. Yeah.
Which to me is everything, because I've only been alive almost 50 years. So for me, you know, in 40 years of your life, it's been like, yeah. And I think if you're going to pull back the veil, I don't know why, if they are pulling back the veil, why they're doing it this way, other than just ripping the friggin' Band-Aid off and saying, here, this is it. You guys want transparency because you've always asked for it. Left, right, or anyone in the middle, like both sides and anybody in the middle would want transparency. The problem with Trump in office, the one side won't believe any of the transparency,
right? Because
it's Trump. So I thought all this was going to be exposed before he got in again. You know,
well, if you think about it, so like the whole like Israel thing, most of the political left in the United States does not care for Israel. I'll just put it that way. They're very pro-Palestine. They think what happens or what's happening over in Israel is genocide. And I tend to agree with it, because I just don't care for us, especially the United States, giving all of this, you know, weaponry and bombs and artillery and all this shit to Israel.
Yeah.
You know, and like we're basically funding a proxy war. And it's really not a war if you think about it, because a war takes two armies. And this is just an annihilation of this is genocide.
A group of people.
Right.
Yeah. No,
you know what
right.
I mean? And it's like, okay, yeah, October 7th, that was horrible. It shouldn't have happened. But so you're going to wipe out a whole race because of this? You know what I mean? Like, take care of those who inflicted the pain, the terrorists, and then move on, you know?
It just causes more division, which is what they want.
Right.
It causes more uncertainty, you know, with markets and money. Wars are funded from both sides, as we know. War is how they launder money, you know. If they're not laundering it through mattress stores or or the lottery, we'll have to do a show on that. I always wonder how these mattress stores stay in business, because you only buy a mattress once every 10 years. They have their system in place. Bill
Burr actually did a funny skit on Israel in his stand-up. I don't know if you've seen it. Here, check this out.
Yeah, I'm not allowed to do that, but it's still socially acceptable to shoot a missile in the general direction of somebody you're upset with.
Okay. It's weird. Just check it out.
You're like, dude, there was like kids over there. This is my favorite response. Well, you know, they're using kids as human shields. It's like, well, you got to work around that.
Right?
Jesus Christ, if I'm mad at my neighbor and I want to beat the shit out of him, but he's holding a baby, right? I wouldn't come in and try to punch him through the baby. Yeah, you go in, you know, you throw a hook, you sweep the legs. You do it on the lawn so the baby bounces off the grass, all right? There's fucking rules to this shit. I do think it's hilarious that college kids are all freaking out, you know, fucking supporting the Palestinians. How dare the Israelis do what our country has been doing for 20 years? What the fuck? You don't do that shit, we do. Oh, you didn't like that one, did you? That was...
Yeah, so, I mean, it's true. It's like you don't just bomb the whole region because there's one person that you want to get. And it's like, that's what I feel like we're doing when in Yemen right now. I feel like, you know, we've done that in the past. That's what Obama was doing, like the drone bombs. It's like, bro, like we got a military, we got SEAL teams, like send them in and take care of it strategically.
Yeah.
There was this new release here, so I did want to cover this. We can take a look at this. This is a newly released JFK file. Revealed that CIA evidently assassinated JFK. We already knew this.
Come on. We know this, for heaven's sakes.
It
Come on.
says a small clique within the CIA was responsible for the assassination. He confided, and he was afraid for his life and probably would have to leave the country. Less than 6 months until Underhill, which is somebody's name, was found shot to death in his Washington apartment. The coroner ruled it a suicide. Imagine that.
Oh, Jesus. God almighty.
So, yeah, the day after the assassination, Gary Underhill left Washington in a hurry late in the evening. Oh, you guys probably can't even read that. So, here, I'm just going to go like this and zoom.
There you go.
So he left in a hurry late in the evening. He showed up at a home of a friend's in New Jersey. He was very agitated. A small clique within the CIA was responsible for the assassination. He confided, blah, 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 blah. We just read all that. So this comes from a memorandum on July 19th in 1967 from John Garrett Underhill Jr., Samuel George Cummings, and Interarmco? I don't know.
Charmco. I don't know what that is.
I don't know. But J. Garrett Underhill had been an intelligence agent during World War II and was recognized authority on limited warfare and small arms. A researcher and writer on military affairs, he was on a first-name basis with many of the top brass in the Pentagon. He was also on intimate terms with a number of high-ranking CIA officials. He was one of the agency's, quote, unpeople, unquote, who perform special assignments. At one time, He had been a friend of Samuel Cummings of Interarmco, the arms broker that numbers among its customers the CIA and ironically Klein Sporting Goods of Chicago. And then where hence sick the mail order Carsano allegedly was purchased by Oswald. Oh.
Okay, there you go.
Okay. Interesting.
So was this one of the documents that was released today?
Yeah, this is one that people are kind of digging up here.
So where's the one that George Bush Sr. did it? That's
I know,
all I
right?
want to know. Come on, man. He's not even alive anymore, so you can tell us now.
Yeah, this is saying the friends whom Underwood visited say he was sober but badly shook. They say he attributed the Kennedy murder to the CIA clique, which was carrying on a lucrative racket in gun running, narcotics, and other contraband. Weird. And manipulating political intrigue to serve its own ends? No way.
Nothing's changed.
Yeah, the CIA wouldn't do that. So, yeah, they're just, yeah. Okay. So stuff we already kind of knew, but this stuff's just going to pop up all over the place. And, you know, I saw a video of Kash Patel. He was talking to Glenn Beck, and Glenn Beck was like, the Epstein documents, the JFK files, what can you tell us? Can you tell us anything? And Kash was just like, there's not going to be much. Like, everything that you know now, it's pretty much already out there. And he's like, there's a small little sliver of stuff that we can't tell you because it's like, what's changed? And it sounds like that could be the Israel sliver, where it's like, is this still happening? And he's like, is it still going on? Is it still happening? So that's where...
Sounds a lot different from what they were saying before Trump got in. You know, they were all talking like, we're going to be transparent. We're going to tell you everything. We're going to shock the world. That's what they were saying. Everybody. Everybody.
Yeah, dude. Like, this is just... Ooh, wait a second. Here we go. I found another one. So here is another document. And this was Congress of the United States, House of Representatives, July 15th, 1963. And this was the Honorable Robert F. Kennedy, the Attorney General of the United States. Dear Mr. Kennedy, and this was from Donald Rumsfeld.
Oh, boy.
Okay, to Robert F. Kennedy. And he says, Dear Mr. Kennedy, several thoughtful and valued constituents have expressed their concern to me over a report in the June 28th issue of the Chicago edition of the Wall Street Journal, which indicated that the determination by the Justice Department of the question of the registration of the American Zionist Council as an agent of the Israeli government will depend upon, quote, the risk of offending Jewish opinion in the United States, unquote. I would greatly appreciate your comments on this statement and also a report as to the policy the Department of Justice will follow in determining this question. So this has been out for a while. This is not a new document, but this is essentially pressure on the Attorney General not to name the American Zionist Council as like this whatever group, right? Like this was, so the American Zionist Council is now AIPAC. And again, I'm super red. I don't know why my camera keeps on doing that. It must be like a coloration type of thing. But
because you're red hot. You're red hot,
man.
You're bringing the facts.
Yep. Sizzling.
Sizzle and izzle.
Okay. Stay still. There we go. Don't turn me red. I'm not Red Hulk. I promise. But anyway, there's just
it's slowly trying to.
I know it's
cook you alive.
It's trying to, man. It's that maybe I got a like LRAD. Maybe there's energy weapons in here. I don't know.
Yeah.
Was there anything else that you wanted to talk about? I see this other video about Trump declares Biden presidency a complete total hoax. All that.
Yeah. So a few people posted that Biden's pardons are illegitimate. First of all, he's illegitimate because it wasn't really Biden. I don't even want to start with that. If he's still, right. I just, oh God, it's, nope, not going to even go there. Not going to go there.
Right.
But they use this auto pen machine to, so I have a video there of, I believe it's, what's that
Alex
chubby
Jones?
guy that's,
He's not chubby anymore. He's got that Ozempic belly.
Ozempic stuff. Yeah. Talking about how Trump has called him out, saying it's illegitimate, and it's just like, why don't you just go one step further and say, yes, like it's not the same dude.
Yeah.
He stole something from me,
Okay.
but he can't because they're all connected.
Yeah, I feel like Alex Jones. We can play a little bit of it, but I'll probably shut it off because I can't take too much of him. Here, let's listen.
Ladies and gentlemen, President Trump just made the most important announcement in his 56 days back in office. On X and Truth Social, he posted a statement below that is absolutely on target. Joe Biden stole the 2020 election. All that evidence has come out. But where we have it cut and dry is the fact that they've only found a few signatures that were real Joe Biden signatures. Everything else was auto pen. And most of the time he was out of D.C. or out of the country when these were signed. Now, as you know, it came out months ago that Speaker Johnson, over a year ago, went to meet with Biden. Took him months to get into the meeting. Biden had to kick his staff out, and he said, sir, you have banned all liquid gas sale, liquid natural gas, billions a day to the world. Biden said, that's not true. Brought in his staff. He found the executive order, said, oh my God, who did this? He reversed it the next day, okay? Joe Biden is totally illegitimate, and under the law, none of the stuff he signed, the executive orders, the pardons, other directives, are legal. We know he stole 2020, but regardless of that, so Trump.
Okay, so he's basically
not regardless of that. That is huge,
right?
Like, do something about it.
Well, I don't know if anybody is going to do anything about that. And I know, like, we're going to be on YouTube, so it's like, I don't even know what the hell we can talk about now. But, like, that is, like, we talked about this. Like, our number one issues are the elections and the plague of 2020 that nobody is taking accountability for.
Yeah.
And not only that, but the medicine, right? Like,
yeah, those three things. Before you talk about 9/11, JFK, space shuttles being, or space stations, people being stuck up there, or Diddy, or anything like that. Those three things.
Right.
Because those are the three things that have destroyed America, the 2020,
the world.
And the other thing was the world.
Yeah.
So so nobody wants, and I think the longer this goes, Greg, the less impact it will have. If I go to my friends, well, hey man,
right.
you took this, what do you want me to do about it? It was 5 years ago.
Yeah, the miracle medicine.
Like, yeah, and I'm just like, you're right.
Yeah,
something should have been done sooner.
That's what they do. I mean, that's why Pfizer wanted to wait 57 years to release the health data. You know what I mean? So it's like, they know the stink. It'll sting less.
74 or 76 years. It's a very, very strange number.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's kind of like, I thought RFK Jr. was going to come in and expose all that, but now he's telling people take the measles vaccine,
right?
Talking and posting like Fauci.
But he did say not to vaccinate the birds for the bird flu. So at least we got to give him that. Like, he did say
let me
that.
Write that down. He gets one.
Right. He did say that if you vaccinate the birds during the outbreak, it will spark mutations. And I'm like, okay, good RFK Jr. Yes, let's keep up that talk.
He gets one.
There we go. You know what else is going to ruin the world, though? Kim Kardashian having sex with robots. That is definitely going to... We're beyond effed. Okay? This is the witch coven bringing in the human hybrid... The transhumanism, yes. And they're trying to normalize intimacy with robots. And this is a Tesla bot, mind you. This was, I don't know if this was a magazine or whatnot, but she was releasing a photo shoot of embracing, holding hands with this robot, laying with it with her butt cheeks out.
Is this to help Tesla stocks go back up? Like, what is this?
Dude,
what is this for? They do things for attention. I don't know if these guys are still relevant, but for those dum-dums that still put these people on a pedestal. I guess they're still relevant. I don't know.
I mean, she probably got paid a pretty penny to do this. But I mean, that's the thing is, there's videos of Trump saying, nobody wants electric cars. This was like back in 2024, right? When he's running, he's like, electric cars are pointless. Like, no one wants those. We're going to get rid of the mandate that everybody has to get an electric car. It's like, they're just not there yet, right? And now he's getting into Teslas. He's best friends with Elon. He's all about the Tesla stuff. Did you see him like pimping out the Tesla and like getting into a new Tesla and be like, oh, yeah.
Yeah. And also him walking to the helicopter and Elon's son is with Trump. And I'm like, what are we doing?
Right. Why?
They're walking across the grass. And I'm like, where's Elon? He's not there. It's like, Trump, are you babysitting this dude? Like, what? Honestly, guys, at this point, what are we doing?
Yeah, and why is it only... So Elon has 14 kids, everybody. He has 14 now. And I get, like, some of them were just born. But why is it only X? It is only X, the child X, that he brings around Trump. And, you got... Well, you got to think about that, dude. You got to think about... you have to think about, like, the symbolism of X. Like what Brandon talks about, so many people. X is like the symbol of Osiris. Aleister Crowley, the OTO. We might actually invite somebody that was in the OTO on the show.
Yeah, we were just talking about that.
And I mean, I'm just saying, like, X is a mark. And you had Elon's nanny out there saying Elon's going to bring the mark of the beast, right? So I don't know, man. There's something about this whole...
It's just creepy. Like, I saw this video of them walking across the front lawn and Trump's looking back. He's like, come on. And it's just like, why are you... Now you're hanging out with the son?
Right.
Elon was already a little... Unless this is to turn on him and expose them. But like I said, you got yourself a year. After a year of this, I'm just like... I'm probably at the point where I'd be... not even wanting to talk about Trump anymore. We'd have to ban him from this conspiracy show. We're like, no, can't. You got a year, Trump.
Yeah, I don't know, man. And then you have like Joe Rogan endorsing and like promoting all this stuff, dude. Like, yeah, I honestly don't know. It's just like he's changed a lot. Like Trump has changed a lot. I don't know. Like some people are okay with that. Some people are not. But like here is, I think this was Trump.
What do you mean by changed a lot? What do you mean by that?
Well, like here's an example. Let's listen to him here. This was in August or sometime in August, I think, 2024.
Wait, I'm a big fan of electric cars. I'm a fan of Elon. I like Elon, but I like him. And I think a lot of people are going to want to buy electric cars. But if you want to buy a different type of car, you're going to...
So like he started doing that and saying he likes electric cars after Elon endorsed him.
Yeah, because he didn't. At one point, he was signing an executive order to stop forcing car companies to sell it. I remember he was talking about that.
Right. Yeah, he had this video. The subsidies. I'm not going to play the whole damn thing, but
I mean, Elon did pay over $200 million. So listen,
yeah,
Trump is his bitch. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, Sheldon Adelson also gave him $100 million.
I'd be Elon's bitch.
An outrage beyond belief. Auto workers are getting totally ripped off by ultimately be forced to drive in a car that goes for an hour and then you have to have it recharged. I hope you don't want to go very far away. Biden has imposed the outlandish requirement that 67% of all new vehicles must be electric in less than 10 years. That means Michigan and places that make to the UAW president himself in history.
So anyway, yeah, he was basically talking crap about electric cars, and then when he got paid by Elon, he switched his tune a little bit, and a lot of it now.
A lot of it, yeah.
Right? So I don't know, dude. Like, it's just like, come on, dude. And then you have like all of these Tesla factories like being burned and whatnot.
Yeah, and showrooms being smashed, and like again, we're better than this. Like, if you don't like Elon, and you don't like what he stands for or whatever, you don't need to be doing this. This is dangerous, right? Like,
well, you know
we
what
don't
this
need to be
does?
doing that.
This sparks sympathy for Elon. That's all this does.
It. They can't shoot him and pretend he got nicked by a bullet. So they gotta put the sorry, did I throw that out there? put his stuff on the chopping block and burn it. So
right. Well, and honestly, who knows who even started those fires? They can start the fires and blame it on the political left and be like, the left is a party of hate, or it could actually be the left. Who the hell knows, dude?
Yeah, at this point, we don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be very, very hard to figure that out because there's just so much. Everything's kind of blended in now. So now I don't even feel there's like a left and a right sometimes. I feel like everybody's just sort of in the middle, disagreeing with everything.
Yeah, I mean, at times it is. It's becoming a little bit more frequent here, or at least a little bit more blended. I turned red all over again.
I thought you were going to get mad again.
I'm becoming angry. You know why? Because space is fake and gay. That's right.
Oh,
Look at this.
Start with me with that. Oh,
the
my
NASA
God.
scientists have been saved by Elon's dragon. And gravity turns your hair gray, apparently. It's this woman, I think her name's Sunny Williams or something like that. Her hair turned gray right at the roots. So maybe she dyed her hair right before she went up.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because it makes sense. Like, well, that's why her hair's right at the roots, at least, just turned gray. But yeah, you had all these people. They were saved.
How long were they stuck for? 9 months?
It was right around 9 months, which is like a gestational period, if you think about it. And I was like, ooh, are they trying
9 months and 11 days they got saved?
So it actually, I saw this on the Daily Mail. I was trying to find it. Here, hold on. Let me see if I can find this really quick because I took a screenshot of it.
33 weeks? I don't know. I'm just throwing all these numbers out.
No, it did. It took them 119 minutes to descend. And I was like, no way. No way. So let's see here. It's all about this, dude.
Just pick different numbers, folks. Like, don't make it so easy for us.
Yeah, 9 months in space. Oh, Sunita Williams that's her name here. So yeah, they splashed down at 5:57 p.m. Eastern time. And they undocked at 1:05, blah, 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 blah. I don't know if it's this article, but it was a 17-hour journey through space. So 17, you're seeing a lot of that again. 5 plus 5 plus 7 is 17, 5:57.
Greg, I was just thinking that. I was going to say it. I said, I don't want to be that obvious. I was, if you rewind this, folks, you could see me doing the math in my head.
Yeah.
I'm like 5 and 7 is, yeah. And I was thinking that going, it's 17.
Well, so this is when Elon's space dragon or whatever the hell it was.
Yeah, they're just making Elon the hero.
The first Crew 10 astronaut through the hatch.
Here, I'll mute that, but they're all faking like they're in space. They're like, yeah, this is awesome. I don't know, man. I don't know if I buy all this. So
I don't buy anything NASA does. Sorry.
No.
And last commander of Crew 10 and McLean.
Crew 10, dude. But like, people were pointing out that this was the video. Wait, what's this? This is the video of the SpaceX Dragon docking at the International Space Station. This guy says, honestly, I've seen more realistic footage in Star Wars movies. So,
yeah.
I mean, look at this thing, dude. That's the problem. Like, people want high def, but when you get too high def, it looks freaking fake. This looks absolutely fake to me. I mean,
yeah, when it's grainier, it's a little easier to get away with stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But like, is that the Earth spinning?
Apparently, they're flying over the Earth.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's space. and you can see all the stars and everything. And
How
all.
far is I just saw a video today that I saved. I got a lot of videos saved on the moon and all that because one day we'll just maybe want to talk about it or bring somebody on. But I was just looking. It's just mathematics. They're like, yeah, like these rockets go at 17,000 miles per hour, and it's kind of like, so why does it take you a couple days to get up there?
Right.
When it's only 250 miles up, or whatever that's what the guy was saying. I go, that 250 miles, that doesn't sound like that far. But even if it was 2,500 miles up, whatever, at 17,000 miles per hour, you get there very quickly. So, and they show what one of those launching those speed trains go at or whatever when they're testing them. You can't even see it. I just feel like, nah. You get there quicker. Things don't move the way they move up in space.
Right. Yeah, all of it just seems very that whole story when it comes to space and the occult, they're tied together. And so like when you look at Jack Parsons, Jet Propulsion Laboratories, JPL, and just the whole foundation of rocketry shaped like a penis, and it's shooting up into the sky to impregnate, and it's like this ritual, and the fact that like it took them 9 months to return, it's literally like they shot up this rocket to create a baby and then have it fall down to Earth, and then the dragon is bringing it back to Earth. You know what I mean? It's very like, what? The dragon?
Yeah.
Very symbolic in the Bible. But here I found the clip, this Donald Trump talking shit about electric vehicles. This was 2 years ago. He was telling Hannity that nobody wants to buy electric vehicles.
We have, and it's what people want to drive right now. And there's a little story about it, but you're going to see it a lot, I guarantee you. They have so many electric vehicles, nobody wants to buy them. They're expensive, although you'll probably get them.
By the way,
now nobody wants to buy them.
3,000 dealers around the country wrote Biden and said, please stop making us sell something they don't want. Ford lost $4.5 billion. Let me ask you this.
The government is subsidizing that.
A lot. They're paying a lot.
Saying every time you make a car, we give you thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, and the people don't want them.
So is he subsidizing Elon Musk now because Elon Musk gave him a little...
And I was just thinking that. And he's talking with Hannity, who I couldn't trust I couldn't trust as far as I could throw him.
Dude, it's bad.
That's all I gotta say is
So Elon also he put this out on X saying he's bringing back this haircut. So a couple of days ago, he said that he's bringing back the freaking Nazi haircut, dude. After like doing the Heil, everybody's calling him a Nazi. He's going back full Nazi cut, dude. Yeah. I'm like, what? You're gonna go back to that? And people in the memes, dude, like they were. Oh wait, they were calling him out like he obviously got hair plugs.
That's not even the same guy anymore.
Right.
You know me, Greg. Everyone's been replaced by a double or whatever.
Oh
yeah, there you go.
This meme, like Fifth Element guy, Gary, whatever the heck's his name. Hilarious. And then there was this other thing, dude. So Elon Musk posted this. This is a meme. And it is a knight. I'm like, what? Like Knights Templar, maybe? I don't know. With a black cat, giving a black cat food. He says, you truly can't call yourself peaceful unless you're capable of great violence. If you're not capable of violence, you're not peaceful. You're harmless. Important distinction. What does he mean by that?
He throws out more codes than Q and Trump did back when I would almost be following that. This is all code talk.
But it's like peace through strength. Like you got to bomb people. Like you can't be peaceful unless you're capable of great violence. Like the only way to be peaceful is to be violent and kill your enemies. So that way they're all dead. That's your peace.
I'd rather you expose your enemies than kill them. Let them get exposed. Let the judicial system, if it does work, which obviously it doesn't, but that's for another day. Take care of that. So no, it's just like you were saying, it's conquering, like that move. It's like that board game Risk back in the
Right.
day. You're just moving your pieces on the chessboard.
It's Game
and
of
you're
Thrones,
like, okay,
dude.
yep, that's it.
Game of Thrones.
I've never seen Game of Thrones.
Well, that's
is it worth
pretty much,
watching?
It's what it is, man. It seems like it's the battle of all these different factions fighting against each other and then teaming up with one another and turning their backs on one another.
Oh yeah.
I wish I could find that 119-minute thing. It's okay though. But yeah, this whole like space dragon thing. And you know what? It's interesting. I'm seeing a lot of mess ups because people are calling it Space Crew 9 Dragon capsule. Oh, this is SpaceX Crew 9. Okay. I thought I thought it was 10. Like, was it NASA's Flight 10 something?
Yeah, and maybe the rescue team was 9.
Yeah, no, it's Crew 9. They're saying Crew 9, but then like what? I don't.
Elon's rockets can't even make it up. Like they're you've seen them. They go up, they crash. So you're telling me this went up and saved these people?
Right. I find it so odd that it's the Dragon capsule that saved them and brought them back down to Earth.
Yeah.
Ooh. So, dude, another thing that was interesting is that this is going to be a little, brace yourself, people. Okay. If you're a little squeamish, then you won't want to watch this. So this man was set on fire.
Oh.
And this was in the morning of March 16th, right as the Ides of March are starting. And that's March 15th through, I think, the 20th, something like that. And so the Ides of March are when Julius Caesar was assassinated. Mm-hmm. And they're typically, that's when you have like fire rituals like this. I don't know if you remember, there was a woman who was set on fire in the subway.
The train, yeah.
Right. That was also around like a fire ritual time. I don't remember when. It was like in the Ember months, I know Donut always talks about the Ember months. Mm-hmm. So this guy, an assailant threw liquid on him and then just lit him on fire. And here's a little video on it. Guy's walking into the ambulance. I don't know if there's any commentary on this. I guess not.
Let's go to the look.
Yeah, they're just showing you where it occurred. But yeah,
Where was this?
It was in New York.
New York.
Yeah, it was, let's see. Yeah, New York City. And, I have a video footage of him here. I won't... It was in Times Square, dude. So, forewarning, everybody. Don't watch if you're squeamish. I'm going to show it in 3, 2, 1. Here you go. This is what he looks like after he got burned, man.
Why?
It's all over his face, his chest, his arms. He has like
here's my okay, but I'm picking at this already.
Mm.
They'd have something to put on him. Don't they have these special cloths or something that would he be that exposed just sitting in the gurney?
Dude, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know.
He'd stick to the gurney. Like he's like, I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. I have a friend who's a paramedic, and I'm going to ask him next time I see him at the gym and be like, hey man, if I was set on fire, like, would I just be sitting in a gurney like this? Would you not put, I don't know. Maybe a blanket on him, a special blanket on him makes it worse or whatever, but he's just sitting there exposed on the gurney.
Yeah,
all
dude.
peeling.
I don't know. Like, I thought that was like very interesting, like the timing of all this stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't know what this stuff does though, because like when people are like, why would somebody do this? And it's like, well, sacrifice.
We don't need to know the why. They are very, very specific. A cult is a cult. They're going to do things that need to be done. Like I don't know how many shows that I watch on Netflix where I'm watching it going like, why did they do this? They're part of a cult. Nobody else benefits from it than the people that are doing it. And that's, I think, the argument that we have with some of our friends, I use that loosely, is, it may not mean anything to you, but it means something to them. And you can see it throughout history of them doing it, but it's getting, I don't know if it's more and more now or it's just being broadcasted more and on social media. Like I just, in the last 5 years, trying to think back, being like, we're just being inundated, dumped with information, where maybe it was like that before and we just didn't pay attention to it. But it's like, it seems like every 6 months someone's being, now, did he light himself on fire or someone did it to him?
Someone did it to him. And so it's like, it's becoming a trend where you're having
no cameras pick this up, and
dude, who the hell knows, right?
Times Square.
Right. And it's like you could capture Luigi, right? The CEO killer.
Like I go grocery shopping and I'm looking and there's cameras in every aisle, 2 or 3 pointing every direction. So I'd be interested to see if they have any footage of the person lighting him on fire.
Mm-hmm.
Or they have to work on that video first, pre-pro, film it, edit it, then put it in. Because a lot of this stuff is, to some degree, is staged, which they show us,
Yeah. Well, I mean, so before we get out of here, what do you think happens? Do you think the JFK files release something about Israel? Do you think it implicates Joe Biden? I see that there's a page in here that says Kennedy already warned that Joe Biden was a traitor.
You know that video I sent you that we just watched before you went on, where it's the Epstein files with the girl with the basketball?
Yeah.
I think anything that they give us, 9/11, where did I come up with that? 9/11, JFK, it'll be enough to make it look like they're trying, but the powers, that
if you
control
make
that, just here we go.
It's all
this goes for anything. This goes for anything.
If you make it, you'll release the client list, right? Okay, there she is. Nope, not getting. So yeah, it's just it goes for everything though, like you were saying, right?
It does. So it's kind of like whatever.
Well, Joe Rogan just put out a tweet asking, "So who killed JFK?" And I'm going to look through the responses to see how many of them point their finger to the country over in the Middle East. So honestly, I don't know. There's a lot going on, and I think our intelligence agencies have a lot to do with it. But you could argue that the two are entwined, like the Mossad and everything and all that stuff. So I think
they'd have to be to coordinate a lot of their stuff. If the Mossad can do stuff on U.S. soil and the U.S. never exposes them, that means they must have known about it. They had a hand in it. Or if they found out afterwards, it's like, well, we can't say anything because this will be exposed. It's all three of those things. Anything that happens especially on U.S. soil, there's no way with the greatest military and in the world they would know with their intelligence that this would happen. They know it's happening. They're either letting it happen or they're part of it, or both.
Yeah, and that's the thing, dude. Like when you have FF false banners, whatever the hell they're called, right? That's what, and people go, why would a government let their people get killed? It's like, well, what does that spark? It sparks a new revolution, or it sparks a momentum into something that they want to do. Either they want to go to a war with somebody, right?
Pass a new law, take away more freedom,
right?
Change things. Every time something happens in the States, they're going to sit there and chip away at the Constitution. And if you get a chance, watch 0 Day with De Niro, right? That whole movie's about them manipulating the Constitution for the better great of security in the United States. And I watched it going, I can see this happening because they're telling us anyways.
You know what I mean? So it's like, didn't Benjamin Franklin say like, if you'd rather have peace and safety or something like that, then you deserve neither? I don't know. I'm going to see if I can.
I'd just rather have Reese's Pieces than peace and safety at this moment.
Hell yeah.
Some chocolate peanut butter cupcakes.
It was something like peace and safety rather than like, liberty, something like dangerous liberty. You deserve neither. So those who would give up essential liberty to purchase a little temporary safety deserve neither liberty nor safety. Something like that.
Yeah, and we're really seeing that the last 5 years too.
Yep. Yeah. And that's the way it always is. Like the government will like make it like there's a boogeyman. Like we got to make you safe and, stay at home, wear a mask, stay 6 feet apart. Like we'll take care of you. And like, no, we don't need that. We don't need that. Right.
No.
So anyway, yeah, let's keep our eyes on the JFK files. We'll see what happens. We'll see if there's any revelations. I don't think there will be. Neither do you. I think it's all just like a bunch of a hype game.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're going to see a lot of stuff that we've already seen before. And then also the Epstein files. I don't know if that's going to happen, because of the same country. I feel like there's a lot that's tied in there.
I'd be interested to see what happens with Diddy, because Diddy is I hate to say it, it's a soft exposure to the bigger Epstein stuff.
Right.
But that's in May. His lawyer dropped the case and said, I'm not going to represent him. I can't, even though he represented Osama bin Laden. He represented some serious dudes. So how serious is it? So we'll see. That's JFK, no. 9/11, we're not hearing anything about.
Nope.
Yeah, I think we'll see what goes on in May. But like I said last week or the week before, how hard is it to arrest people that do stuff for kids? If Greg and I was to do anything right now to kids, that door would be knocked down and they'd be dragging me out of my office and you out of your basement. And it's like maybe the corruption stuff and black market and black money, and that's harder to trace and prove. But if you have the stuff that these people have done to kids, how hard is it just to arrest them?
Yep. Do it.
Even
if
not as
you had
difficult as the other stuff.
Right. Even if you had it for like,
if
you had blackmail on them, just if they diddled a kid, arrest them.
Can't, because it exposes everything. I feel if if it is ever exposed, that's where things get interesting, and we might have to do 2 episodes a week at that point. Greg,
dude,
keep up with stuff.
Well, but that's why Epstein was killed, to cover up the honeypot situation. I mean, it's not about the client list; it's about who
There's
wanted.
There's a guy in my
list.
gym that looks like Epstein. I wouldn't be surprised he moved out to BC. Like
He might have.
What's going on?
You never know. All right, dude. Well, hey, good episode, everybody. If you like the episode, hit the thumbs up. Remember to go to the audio. Leave us a 5-star rating. Leave us a comment. Leave us a review. We'll read them. Mm-hmm. We'll respond to you guys. Leave us all this stuff. So we like to banter back and forth with you guys. So thanks for watching, everybody. Until next time, stay steamy. Peace.